So in our he said segment, Tom and I have known each other for a long time, but we're going to do a little prediction. We're going to do a little prognostication. Tom and I have gone into the studios separately to talk about Tim Tebow. He's the subject of our he said segment this week, and we've given our opinions on tape on how we feel about Tim Tebow and this very specific question. The question being, can the Denver Broncos win? And I mean win consistently and win big with Tim Tebow, unconventional as he is, as their quarterback. So, Tom, you like this segment, don't you?
I think it's got great potential, Stearns. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
All right, Phil, let me bring you in here in this segment. So we've both recorded our opinions or our thoughts about whether Tim Tebow can win or not. And so we need you as the neutral bystander here to kind of orchestrate this segment along, if you will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've known both of you guys long enough now to kind of expect ass-clownery, tomfoolery, all of these types of things from you two, but I was not disappointed. So before we get to what Butch thought, we asked Tom, what do you think Butch is going to say about Tim Tebow? So let's roll the tape here on what Tom said Butch was going to say about Tim Tebow.
Okay, Butch, I'm going to make this very, very quick and very, very simple. A, it's my kid's bedtime, okay? So I only have one shot to do this. Dashy, say hi. Hi. Okay, Butch, this is such a no-brainer. Without a doubt, I know which way you're going on this. You're from Boston. You're from New England. You think every single quarterback dates a lingerie model. That's what you root for. Stearns, I root for the common man like Tim Tebow. I'm rooting for him to succeed. He already is succeeding, okay? It's already happened. He's been successful since day one of his life. He's a winner, Stearns. He wins at everything. Now, however, his throwing motion leaves a little to be desired. Watch this. My little boy, the Dash man. Dash, I want you to throw the football. Dash, throw the football. Watch this. He's 2 years old, folks. One more throw, Dash. Butch, are you watching this? Watch the form. Watch the motion. Okay. See, Stearns, I'm going to end it with this. Okay? This is something you could take a page from. That's something Brady could take a page from. I am rooting for Tim Tebow to take the Broncos all the way this year. And look at this. I'm saving a little space on my championship rack for him, Stearns. One of the books is going to go so I can make room. Goodbye, Alabama. I'm saving this spot right here for the Denver Bronco Tim Tebow championship book. It's happening, Stearns. Deal with it.
Definitely funny. Definitely predictable from you, by the way. I'll tell you why. Because you're taking on New Englanders, as you already do. Shamelessly using your son Dash. By the way, did you violate some laws by using Dash there? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you did. And also always making it about yourself and jumping on the bandwagon trying to make some money off it. I both disrespect you and respect you for that at the same time.
Hey, at least I'm consistent, Stearns. You know, I've been saying that about Tebow since day one. He's just way too damn talented, successful, smart. There's something about him. He's got intangibles, and it's going to translate to football at any single level. We saw it last night. I taped that in the first half.
So wait a minute.
Guts for me to do that.
So my premise of this segment is that we would record things and we wouldn't know how each of us felt. Now, I recorded it before the Jets game last night. So how do you think I feel? I think I get the gist of what you're saying. You think I'm not going to be a Tebow fan. You think I don't think he's a winner. You think because he's unconventional, I'm going to be the traditionalist, right? Is that what you're saying?
Back in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. He doesn't have the proper fundamentals. He's flawed in some way, all right? He can't throw a 60-yard out. I don't know what your criteria is. I just think you're not going to root for him.
Okay, all right. Well, Philippe?
Yeah, if there's one thing we know about Butch, it's that he never does at all what you think he's going to do or what he should do. So let's hear what Butch had to say about Tim Tebow.
The Tim Tebow debate. Can the Denver Broncos win and win big in the NFL with Tim Tebow as their quarterback? The answer is yes, like it or not. If you disagree, you're one of two kinds of people. You're either the stats geek who says, all you have to do is stand back in the pocket to win in the NFL. You can't win any other way. Or you're conventional traditionalist who embraces change like you welcome hugging your mother-in-law. Either way, both of you are wrong. Tim Tebow is a winner, and the numbers and sports logic, if you have any of that, tells you it will always be that way. Numbers? You can look at the numbers of passes thrown and how much he runs and tell me he can't stay healthy. But let's point to his days as a Florida Gator. Tebow played 55 games as a Gator. They won 48. In those 55 games, he passed for 88 touchdowns, and he ran for 57. He also completed 67% of his passes, an SEC record. They won 2 national championships. Numbers, winner. In his short NFL career, Tebow has started 7 games. The Broncos have won 4. This year, he's started 4 games. The Broncos have won 3. Oh yeah, I'm taping this before they play the Jets tonight, so we'll see what happens after that. For you traditionalists, admit it, you're afraid of change. Where would we be if these people were afraid to buck tradition? Martin Luther King, Dennis Rodman, Jesus Christ, and Tommy Callahan.
That guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat. Richard, what's happening?
Tim Tebow, unconventional, but winner. Yes, he can win in the NFL. After all these years, and you think you know me, Tom?
I didn't know you well enough to know that was going to take 4 minutes, okay? And I underestimated
Don't you ever complain about taking too much time from me. Don't you ever, okay?
That was good, Stearns. Typical Stearns rant. Threw a lot of data in there, okay? But you did make your point. And, hey, I think if I cut through it, you and I are kind of on the same page here. And you know what? To get serious for a second, if you watched that game last night, the guy has magic qualities. That is a fact. That is reality. You cannot dispute it. I don't care if your name is Rick Riley. I don't care if you're one of those schmucky dweebs on ESPN that maybe used to play linebacker for the New England Patriots, who's a little bit uncomfortable with his style on the air, so every once in a while he has to rip Chad Ochocinco for no reason. The last 3 or 4 minutes of that game, they had to put it in a vault and send it straight to Canton. Unbelievable.
I'll tell you, it really is, Doug Flutie, sort of. He was completely different, but he was unconventional. And people actually developed a hate for Flutie because they didn't want him to win because he wasn't traditional. He never won a Super Bowl. And I don't know if Tebow will ever win a Super Bowl, but we're both in agreement. You can win different ways, and he's winning football. The guy's a winner. See the comments from people after the game about him? Darrell Revis said that Tim Tebow won with his legs. John Fox said the guy will fight you to a death. And he's a great young man. I mean, everybody's talking about, including your guy, Jack Youngblood, Tom, who sent this tweet out. Tebow in crunch time accelerates this old man's heart rate. Can't deny his ability and drive to win. Accept it. Old school guys, John Wayne of football, telling us to accept Tim Tebow.
You know what? I'm going to give Jack a big hug this weekend when I'm with him, when I see Jack Youngblood, NFL Hall of Famer, who I'll be hanging with this weekend. Stearns, it's unbelievable. I don't even know what the debate is about anymore. What the hell is wrong with people that have a problem with Tim Tebow? Look in the mirror because you have a major problem with yourself, multiple character flaws on several levels. I'm not even going to begin to describe them, but you people have issues. Embrace Tim Tebow. And you know what? I finally give John Fox credit. He's smart enough, and I'm telling you right now, Stearns, 93.7% of NFL coaches are not smart enough to do this. They're adapting their team to what they have as talent. It's a brilliant move. It's odd watching a pro football team run the beer offense and do what Tebow does, but he executes that offense as well as Peyton Manning executes his offense. He's playing within himself, and when he needs to make plays, he finds a way to do it. I'm anxious to watch on Twitter the reaction of Rick Riley because, I don't have a problem with people that criticize Tim Tebow or don't think that he can play as a quarterback. Maybe they don't like his style as a thrower. They think there's some deficiencies there with his release or whatever. That's fine. But Rick Riley makes it so personal. And he went completely overboard. And I don't know if he just couldn't think of another column to write those days that he ripped Tim Tebow, but they live in the same city. And Tim Tebow is way more popular than Rick Riley is in Denver, Colorado. And if you saw the post game on the NFL Network last night, hell, Rich Eisen looked like he wanted to marry Tim Tebow, let alone the other 30,000 people that are sticking around Mile High Stadium. It was unbelievable.
I agree with you. I mean, there's nothing not to like about Tebow. Even if you want to go he's on God's team and stop stuffing religion down our throats, it doesn't belong in sports, he still does it in a genuine way. He really does.
And well, let me say this. If you've got a problem, you know what I have a problem with? Teams like the Detroit Lions, okay, who tried to hurt and injure and maim people and end their careers, and they're coached to do it. That's what bothers me. I don't have a problem with a guy taking a knee and thanking the Lord after he's made a great play. At least Tim Tebow is consistent. If you look at the core of Tim Tebow, his faith and his religion and his values are way more important than anything he does on the football field, and he makes that very, very clear. So I think get past that if you have an issue with him and watch what he's doing as a football player. And Butch, I tweeted this out last night too. Here's the beauty of Tim Tebow. He hasn't changed at all from high school. He plays the exact same way he did in high school, and it's like Pop Warner. The best player on the field takes every snap and either runs or maybe throws it. You know, it's like a Pop Warner game. It's hilarious.
Speaking of tweets, Rick Riley, you brought up, he tweeted this out. Not sure I've seen anything like this kid Tebow. No way he should be winning, yet he just keeps winning. Incredible, inexplicable. Is he doing damage control?
You know what? I think that's a condescending tweet. I was watching it last night. I saw that when he tweeted that out last night, and I'm thinking, you don't refer to Tim Tebow as this kid Tebow like he just showed up. Like he was a late roster ad this week and no one had heard of him before. You know, he refuses to give Tim Tebow any respect. I think it's a joke. I think it's terrible on Rick Riley's part, and he needs to apologize to him and regain some credibility as a national sports writer. My God.